I tell you what's been driving me crazy is these entities, like a lot of negative entities and energies are kind of swirling, whirling around. I was even thinking it was like Ghostbusters, where you see the swirling kind of ghosts coming, coming out. It's almost like what we would say they're coming out from the underworld. It's like honestly like a movie. What is happening is they're coming out because there's so much light. There's so much light that is on the planet, thanks to you guys. There's so much cosmic light, high frequency angelic light. So much like it's such a big reset that's happening. So basically, the old little darker entities and energies being drawn out. They actually don't, they're like losing their home. They're kind of, the darker spots are kind of being, the frequencies are rising. So they're kind of being drawn out and they've got nowhere to go. So this is the problem where you see a lot more mental health, people feeling like they're hearing voices in their head. And, like I always hear voices in my head, but you've just got to make sure who are you hearing? Is that your higher self, your good guides, or are they these little buggers, these little entities, which are still part of the whole? They're still part of source energy. They're just playing the game. We've kind of, we've all contributed on creating them through fear. They get created through fear. They get created through lack, through stress, through worry. We create these little entities, and what they do is they get into your thoughts and they start to really, like, some days they make you go a bit crazy. When you get stuck on a subject. So this is just what happened to me. The last few days I had some bills come in. Okay. And normally I would be like, okay, money flows in and it flows out, and I always have more than enough to pay my bills. But I felt this, it wasn't my energy and it wasn't my voice. It wasn't my thoughts. It wasn't my mind. And I was hearing this lackful energy, lackful state. And it was just trying to loop me into feeling lack. It wanted me to feel bad, wanted me to feel like I didn't have enough money, that everything was expensive, and that I wouldn't be able to, pay for the things that I wanted. And it was really going in this loop. And I really had to work hard to break free from it and just start to really feel the abundance again. So I was lying in my bed and I was like, okay, I'm so abundant having my bed. And then I was like, I'm so abundant. I had my coffee this morning and I have my crystals. And I was just really trying to get back on the abundance train. But at the moment, it's like everybody's been triggered, and this false system, the old matrix system, is really trying to keep us stuck in these old loops of survival consciousness and lack. And so we really want to get on that thriving, that new earth. So if you feel like, like if there's something that's repeating in your mind, some thoughts, something you keep hearing in your mind, really start to tune in and say, is this me? Or is this deception? Is this from the highest beings of light, or from my higher self, from source, from for my greatest good, my highest timeline? Or is this a deception from the lower entities that are trying to play the game of bringing you back down into the control systems, into the lack, into the matrix where you're stressed out, you're overwhelmed, and you're in survival? So yeah, really start to tune in and ask yourselves, because people these entities are really stressing people out, and they're really causing a lot of mental health issues. And what's also happening, I'm seeing as well, if people are taking a lot of drugs, people are drinking, they're having those blackouts where they can't remember, and this is where the entities come in. You know, like sometimes when you look in somebody's eyes, you're like, they're not there. That's not them anymore. Like, who is this person? You know, like they can be really mean or horrible, say nasty stuff, or be really aggressive. That's these entities, and we need to tell them this is our vessel. This is our meat suit. This is our avatar. This physical body is ours for this game. So you need to be really strong now and just tell them. I just say fuck off with love and light. Basically, I'm just like when they're really bugging me, they're in my head. I'm just like fuck off. And then I send compassion and love because I don't want to be too much of a bitch. But yeah, you really need to get tough on these entities and realize like people don't know. Like, I've spoken to my friends, some old friends, and they're like, but the voices in my head are mine because it's my mind, it's my head. I'm like, no, they're not. They're not just your voices. They are other energies. Energies are everywhere, and especially in the false matrix. You know, if you're feeling a bit low, you're feeling a bit stressed, you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, you might be feeling sad, you might be feeling angry, you might be feeling triggered, then this is when these little entities, and that's when they really get in there, because that's how they survive. They feed off that energy. And I don't want to get like, really angry at them, because we feed off stuff too. We feed off plants, we feed off animals, we feed off like whatever you guys eat or drink. We're still feeding off stuff as well. So they're just surviving as well. But you don't need to have them in your mind messing with your day-to-day life. So the guides are saying ground yourself as much as you can, because when you're grounding, like literally grounding, they're saying literally grounding onto Gaia, onto Earth, in nature, with the trees, with the grass, that helps release the negative entities. You can do rituals like writing down, I want to release anything that no longer serves me. I release any entity attachments, any cords. I release that, and you can like write it on paper and burn it. The guides are saying, do what you feel called to do. Ask them to leave. This is not like, if you don't want to play in their game, then you ask them to leave, and they will, because you have free will. Ask to be released from that false matrix system. Ask to have complete free will and sovereignty. Oh my God, I've lost my words again. They're kind of showing me even being attached to New Earth is like, focusing on New Earth is awesome, but it's still attaching to something. So it's still a game. New Earth is still a game, but New Earth does help you kind of go into a higher vibration. But if you want, the guides are saying, if you really want the highest point of consciousness, cleansing consciousness, then you go to source frequency. Visualize like a waterfall of source, cleansing and clearing all the old entities, or thought forms, thought bubbles, matrix, control systems, low frequencies. They're saying low frequencies. There's so many that are being bombarding us at the moment through music, through TV, through social media. There's these frequency bandwidths that the old control systems put out. They're just saying, the guides are saying, just go to the highest point of source consciousness, because New Earth is awesome, but it's still like more of a fifth, sixth dimensional space where you still can. There are still negative fractions in the New Earth fifth dimension, but there's a lot more alignment. There's a lot more peace. There's a lot more wellness. There's a lot more flow in the New Earth. But if you really want to transmute all of those negative energies, visualize the highest form of consciousness, cleansing and clearing every part of your DNA, every part of your system, every part, just visualize your particles, your molecules, your cells, your atoms, visualize everything being cleansed, release, release, release all the old crap. So yeah, you've got this. Don't be scared of those little buggers, those little entities. Oh, they're so annoying, honestly. But yeah, they're really messing with people's minds at the moment. So sending compassion and love to the people that are having mental health issues. It's not them. It's these little entities that are in their heads. Yeah. So send compassion to everybody. Love you guys.